Hey guys, momemtaijankguy bringing you a updated but also a new deck profile. So it's gonna be on Darkknightmon, so I'm super excited with this deck. This is one of those like decks just like it doesn't die, and it's really good depending on like what the meta is. And so let's get started. So the egg is gonna be 4 of the Monimon. Just on deletion, if you have a black Tamer, draw a card. So super nice. Pokemon used to be the best black egg for this deck, but it was too RNG because if it wasn't a Digimon, you just bottom decked it, and sometimes like it hurt a lot. Sometimes it's a Tamer or an option card, or just like oh well. So now on to the rookies. We're playing 3 of the Digimon from BT10, yeah, BT10. So on play, look at the top 4 cards of your deck. Add 2 cards that are either black with the Nightmon or Deadly Axepot in their named, or with the Twilight trait. So this can pick up your Tamer, your Digimon. It can pick up everything. You can even pick up itself, which is super nice. And then we're playing 4 of the other Montimon. This is the much better one, essentially. So on deletion, reveal the top 2 cards of your deck. From among them, you add 1 card with the Nightmon under text or Twilight trait, add it to your hand, and then you place one such card underneath one of your Tamers, and then you bottom deck the rest. And the inherit is Reboot, which is super cool. But that inherit will almost like never go off because you're gonna be digicrossing majority of the time. It's really rare when you will like evil into a line. Now onto the force. There's a lot. If you guys are familiar with Darkknightmon, you know that I plays a gajillion 4s. So we're playing 4 of the. This is the only new of the 2 that we're playing from the new set. From not new set from EX10. So it heals for 2 on top of Nightmon, which is really nice. It's been forever since we got something that heals for 2. So on play when Digivolving, by trashing 1 card in your hand, you may return 1 card with Nightmon in its text, or the Bagger Army, or Twilight trait from your trash to your hand. And then on deletion save, the inherits Retaliation. So very good. This allows you to get all your recycling back, and like it's super consistent because both of the level 5s, all 3 of the 5s play out a body. So essentially, you'll always be able to get back a piece that you always need. So it's super good. And then we are playing 4 of the old Skull Nightmon. You have to play 4 of this. There's like no question about it, just because the inherit is this Digimon has Nightmon or Bagmon at the same, you can Sex +1. And so when attacking, by placing one of your Deadly Axepot as the bottom source, this Digimon can Digivolve into a Darkknightmon in your hand without paying the cost. So it's a super cool. That really ever goes off, but when it does go off, it's like oh look at that, it went off. But yeah, it's usually like I said, you're gonna be digicrossing a lot, and the Sex +1 will come up a really good amount. But this one attacking is like super rare. It's like you want to keep on the back and then evil here. I guess you can do that when if you don't have a Tamer and you hard play something and then you just hope it lives. So there's always like those kind of options. Then we were playing 4 of the promo Skull Nightmon, which got reprinted as a box topper. Thank gosh. These are only like $1 or $2 compared to them being like $30 back in the day. So on deletion, you may play 1 Tamer card with the name Amano or you Amano in its name from your hand or trash without paying the cost, and then save. So you get to play the Tamer, then place it underneath. And the inherit is sort of like his, this one. So your turn, this level 5 or higher Digimon card with the Bagger Army or Twilight trait gains Sex +1. So as long as you Digicross and it's gonna be a level 5, you're gonna get the Sex +1. But I'll show you guys this 1/4 that I'm running. I'm only running a 2 of, and it's mainly because of this. And then we're running 4 Skull Nightmon Deadly Axe. So this is a substitute. You can treat this as either Deadly Axe or Skull Nightmon. So super nice. So on play, reveal top 2 cards of your deck. You add 1 card with Nightmon in its name, or 1 Deadly Axe, or then a model from 1 to your hand, and then you trash the rest. So this can whiff like the rookies, and I believe one of the object cards, but it picks up everything else though. And then you trash the rest. And then if your Digicrossing was 2 cards, you can delete one of your opponent's Digimon to play cost 4 or less. So super nice. And then we are only playing 2 Skull Nightmon Cavalier mode. I was originally playing 4, but reason why I put it to 2 is because at this, you have to be level 5 to get the effect. So the ideal stack is like going on top of this for 1, swinging for 2 textures, jamming. But with this, you will not get the Sex +1 because you have to be a level 5 or higher. So this is why I'm only running 2 of it. It also evils for 1 on top of any of the 4s. So that's also a really nice perk for it. And then on Digivolving, it gains jamming and blocker until the end of your opponent's turn, and it is also treated as Deadly Axemon or Skullknightmon, so it's super, super nice. And then for the last card we were playing one Shademon, so this is essentially to like trope out one of your Tamers. I used to run the Deadly Axe that's, a Skullknightmon that's on play. If you don't have an NA, you can play an NA. But I was just like, it still feels a bit too slow for me. And also that's a card I didn't want to run too many of, because it only picks up on deletion. It's the top card of your deck. If it's a card with Twilight, you can add it to your hand. It picks up a good chunk of the deck, but the only reason why it doesn't pick up these two, because these are not Twilight. But yeah, on play, you can reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 card with a Twilight trait or composite. So basically picks up anything in the deck that isn't this or this, essentially. And then on deletion, you may play 1 NA mono from your trash without paying the cost, so it's super nice. So if you have it in your hand, you just play it for 3 and hope it swing, hope it dies, and then you get your free Tamer out. So those are all the 4s. So we're playing 4 Darkknightmon. So this card is one of the MVPs of the entire deck. So it's on play, only on play. The Digivolve 1, which is in my opinion, that is the best mechanic in the game, because the Digivolving is just really, really good. One of your opponent's Digimon. Then, if Digicrossing was 2 cards, you delete one of your opponent's Digimon with a play cost of 5 or less, which hits a lot of stuff. This is really good when like you play for 4. You Digivolve their ace. It's like, oh, you can't delete me, sure, but I can Digivolve you. You get the memory back, and then all turns when this Digimon would be deleted by returning 1 level 4 black Digimon from this Digimon sources. You can play the opposite. You can play 1 Skullknightmon or Deadly Axemon from this Digimon sources. So essentially, let's say you have this and this. You can either add this to your hand and then play out this, or you can add this to your hand and then play out this. So you play you play the opposite of what you pick up. So it's super nice. It always basically gives you a board, and it's really, really good. But this has recently become the MVP Darkknightmon, because all the Tamers that are going around, they're all being like 3 costs and less. It's going to be this Darkknightmon from BT19. So it has material save 1. So on play when Digivolving. So this one will actually work if you swing was this one, if you do manage to pull that off. But you won't get the additional effect. So the Digivolve 1 of your opponent's Digimon, same as this one. Then, if Digicrossing was 2 cards, you may delete 1 play cost 3 or lower Digimon or Tamer. So that's the big part. If you're playing against any of the new Liberator decks and you're able to see these consistently, you can just keep popping their 3 cost Tamer and basically just slowing them down a lot. And then on deletion, so unlike this one, versus when this would be deleted, this is on deletion. Another thing too, I wish it just said when this Digimon would leave, so that means if it returns to their hand, it doesn't do anything. So on deletion, you may play 1 level 4 lower Digimon card with Nightmon in its text from under your Tamers without paying the cost. So he still plays a body, but not from like underneath him. But what's nice about it is, like, let's say he dies and he has no sources and you have something underneath your Tamer, you can play it out. But essentially, it'd be something like this. Let's get these 2 again for the example. So let's say you have nothing underneath one of your Tamers. So it dies, you can material save this, and then effect, you can play out this. So super nice. And the inherit is on deletion, you may play 1 level 4 lower Digimon card with Nightmon in its text from your trash without paying the cost. So it says in its text, so that means you can also play the searchers because they have Nightmon in their text. So that means you can get more consistency, and it's really nice. And then the one that we were playing 1 Darkknightmon all the way back from BT7. I wanted to play the EX10 one, but I didn't like the fact that it digicrossed for 5 instead of 4. It's an okay effect. I believe it's on Digivolve. It gets plus 3k, and one of your Digimon can't be Digivolved. But then the other effect is when it would leave, you can play a Digimon from its sources. You could replace this for this. They both equal for 3. But I just like this for the fact that it's on play. Is you can Place a Skull Nightmon and a Deadly Axe from your hand or trash them underneath it. So that means even when you play this, you'll still get sources. Sometimes when your Tamers are both tapped using them on your turn, when you play this off like your Ace or something, you can still get sources underneath. And then all turns, when this Digimon is deleted, you can play one Skull Nightmon and or Deadly Axemon from the sources rested, suspended, without paying the cost. So it's still super nice. So everything floats, which is great. And also like look at the art. The art is like amazing on this card. Next, on to the 6s. We were playing 3 Lord Nightmon. I was gonna try to play 4, but 3 has been working really well. This is probably the best card. The best cards in the deck. It allows you to turbo out so many 5s so consistently. It doesn't have an on-play, unfortunately. So when Digivolving, you may play 1 level 5 or lower Digimon card with the Nightmon and its text from your hand or trash without paying the cost. And all turns, when all Digimon with as much or less DP as this Digimon gain collision. So sometimes the collision can be annoying because sometimes the opponent has a body and you don't have enough bodies in the world. They have to keep blocking you, and so sometimes that can like prolong you from winning. But yeah, this is a great card though. It plays out in any of the 5, so, and you'll get the on plays too. So it's just super nice because it's like if they swing, you can blast. You can play out a body, usually one of these. You can Digivolve, then you can block afterwards because they have collision. And next, I was originally playing 2, but I bumped it up to 3. It's going to be 3 Darkknightmon X Antibody. This is really good in the format right now with like Hoodiemon and stuff, and Bees, and any of the Liberated decks that use the Tamers. So Digivolves for 4 on top of Darkknightmon, which is really good. And so when Digivolving, you return any purple black Digimon card that isn't itself back to your hand. So again, you get to recycle a lot of stuff that's in your trash. And then if Darkknightmon or X Antibody is in this Digimon sources, you can delete 1 Tamer. So it says delete 1 Tamer. So that means, let's say only you have a Tamer, you have to delete your Tamer. But like just deleting your opponent's Tamers consistently back to back is just really good. And then this Digimon unsuspends. And then on deletion, you may play 1 Dark Knight from your trash without paying the cost. So again, the deck just floats. So let's say this dies, you can play out this Digicross, the Digivolve, pop something else, and then it dies. You add one of the sources, then you play one of the sources. Same with this. Gets deleted. You material save, you play it out. And even with this one too, you play this. You won't be able to Digivolve, but if it dies, you still get to play out 2 more bodies. So the entire deck doesn't want to die. So fantastic card. Now on to the Tamer. So we're running a really I would say diverse split. So this is still probably the best Tamer out of all of them, just because it gives all your Digimon to have Darkknightmon in its name, or the Twilight trait, or Nightmon, or the Axemon in its name, or the Twilight trait among them. Oh, sorry, that's the on play. The on play is top 4. Add 1 card with Nightmon, the Axemon and its name, or the Twilight trait back to your hand. And then during your opponent's turn, all of your Digimon with the Darkknightmon in their names or the Twilight trait gain blocker. So all your 5s, all your 6s, they're all gonna have blocker. And that's the key part for this, is just allows you to survive. It allows you to like, oh, I'm gonna. They're like, okay, I'm gonna swing 15k. Sure, I'm gonna block with Darkknightmon X Antibody. I'm gonna block. It's gonna die. I'm gonna Digivolve you, and then I'm gonna pop your other little body that you have. So super good. And then on deletion, gain to memory. So it does come up a lot where sometimes you need to go for game. And this is your, where'd it go? This is probably your best card. You swing, you hope it lives. You Digivolve for 4, you put in the 2, put in the 1. You delete this Tamer, you gain to memory, unsuspend, and you swing for game. So it's just, it's super nice. Let me get these out of the way. We were running 3 of the Memory Setter and an Amano. It's like I said, it's a Memory Setter. It's super good. So all turns, when any of your Composite or Twilight trait Digimon cards with the Digicross requirements would be played by suspending this Tamer. 1 card under your Tamers and 1 card in your trash can also be placed with a Digicross. So super nice. You don't have to use both of your hands. You don't have to use 2 cards from your hand every time. As long as you get this out, you can use 1 from trash, 1 from underneath the Tamer, so super nice. And then next, I did not like this card at first, but then I realized this card is great, and it gives you so much draw advantage. And that is something the deck needed. Because ripping 3 cards out of your hand every time they Digicross, it hurts a lot. So start your main phase by placing 1 Background Army or Twilight Trait Digimon card from your hand or trash under this Tamer. You get to draw 1 card. So let's say you don't have early on, you don't have Darkknightmon or anything that is in Twilight, like the 4 or 5s in your trash. You can place the rookies underneath because they do have the Twilight Trait. And it doesn't say Darkknightmon is LAX, it just says the Twilight Trait, so you can tuck it underneath the Tamer. It won't do anything, but you'll be able to get a draw card, which is really nice. And then all turns, when any of your Background Army or Twilight Trait Digimon cards with the Digicross requirement would be played by suspending this Tamer, 1 card from under your Tamers and 1 card under your trash can also be placed for their Digicross. So super good. If you get like 2 of these out, you're just drawing 3 cards every turn, drawing for turn. Start a main, draw 1, start a main, draw 1. It's super nice, super consistent. And for the last card, this is my pet peeve card. This card is just it's always gonna be in the deck. It's Immortal Ruler, also does have the Twilight Trait. So while you have a Nene model in play, you can ignore the color requirements, trash top 3 cards of your deck. Then you may play 1 Darkknightmon from your trash for its play cost. Then if you play a Digimon card with the Digicross requirements, by this effect, you can also use cards in your trash for the Digicross. So it's super, super nice. But yeah, that is the deck profile. Hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you guys next time.